All right. Hi, Dr. Buwaneka. Nice to meet you. I'm Kayala from China
But
Admission. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. Would you like to begin by telling us a little bit about yourself?
yeah, I'm Dr. Buwaneka. I graduated from Stanford University of Medical Sciences. That's in Guangzhou, China, back in 2019. So since then, I've started working in Sri Lanka now for 2 years after completion of my licensing exam. So right now, I'm working as a medical officer for OPD and ETU at the divisional hospital in Madras, Sri Lanka.
Okay, wow, that's very exciting. So, what was the degree that you studied?
It was MBBS. So, I mean, I was in China. I went to China in 2013, and me moving from Sri Lanka to China, initially it was quite, the culture shock. It's different people, different, the food is different. But like it takes around maybe a month or two of getting used to,
Mm.
and then uh, and then things become pretty all right, and it's great. And I spent a total of 6 years there. It was, I mean, it was uh, it was a really good experience, like experiencing different, friends, people, culture, everything.
Yeah, it must be a very different culture from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
What made you want to study medicine?
So basically, yeah, I did my A levels in biology.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great, seemed like a good option at the time. I mean, I think it still is. So
Hopefully.
yeah, that's great. I was not very good in math either. So yeah.
Why did you choose China? Have you always wanted to go there?
Uh, I mean, I had some of my seniors studying there. So after that, I mean, I asked around, and then yeah, kind of is a good, I mean, option. I mean, considering the cost and all things considered, I think China was a good option at the time.
Fair enough. And did you know how to speak any Chinese before you got there?
No, I did not. I mean, I did not know any Chinese. But by the time I graduated after 6 years, I mean, I was quite good in Chinese. I mean, I was fluent. I mean, we did SSK level 4. Yeah, I mean, I would say I could use, I mean, hold them, I mean, a normal conversation with a Chinese person.
That's amazing. Did you find it challenging at all? People say it's quite a hard language.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, initially, I mean, it's quite different from my mother tongue. I mean, for anyone, I guess, moving from apart from the people living in Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand, Malaysian. I mean, they are quite familiar with the language, but us coming from South Asia, the language is quite different. The initial 1.5 years, we do study a lot of Chinese. So, I mean, probably all universities in China, it's the same. So, depending on the university, 1 to 1.5 years, you're mostly learning Chinese. So, initially, you might be like, I didn't come here to study Chinese, and I am here to study medicine. Why am I studying Chinese? But I think that is very important to, I mean, in the long run, that's very important that you learn Chinese and, I mean, try to master it because that will help you a great deal in living. I mean, it will basically make or break your life in China. So, yeah, learning Chinese is, I think, one of the very important aspects of studying in China because a lot of people sort of I mean, get frustrated because it's not easy to learn. But, like rather than just learning from books, going out there and speaking to the local people, learn a lot that way.
Did you practice a lot of medicine in Chinese as well?
So our coursework was mostly in English.
Yeah.
But when you're out there in the hospital, you really need to know some Chinese. I mean, you need to know some Chinese to, talk with the patients and, relatives and whatnot. So yeah, I think yeah,
Yeah. And do you still practice it now?
Chinese? No. I mean I guess I could still talk to a person in Chinese, but it's not as good as it is.
Fair enough. So when you were choosing the university, did you find that an easy process? How did you have a few to choose from?
So for us, uh, we only have a few universities to choose from because you need to, I mean, the university needs to have recognition of the Sri Lankan Medical Council as well. You can't just randomly choose one and say, I'm going to study here. So there are only maybe around six options that recognized by the EMS Medical Council here. So yeah, that was what I mean. Considering our country, that was the main factor, affecting where we go.
I see. Okay. And when you got your qualification, was it easy to find work back in Sri Lanka? Did you have?
Yeah, basically in Sri Lanka, what we have to do is once we return from China, there's a licensing exam, which all the foreign graduates have, they have to do, sit for it. And then once you get through that, you are basically absorbed into the government system. So it's only a matter of getting through that exam, and then you are assured a job. I think most of the other countries are also like that, except for a few, very few. But as far as I know, Thailand has a similar system, and Thailand, India, I think is different.
Yeah.
They are not guaranteed government job, but I'm not sure. So,
Fair enough. Have you been to Thailand?
unfortunately, no.
Okay, so back to your university experience. Was there any highlights that you really enjoyed about it? What was your favorite part?
Yeah, basically, life there in itself is a highlight, like everything there's something going on, But yeah, I would say some of the some things that stand out are basically the ease of life there. You can just head out with just your phone. You have everything on WeChat. You can pay for the phone. You can pay for the bus. You can pay for the train. Everything. So I think after 2014, we never took any wallets or any hard cash with us. We just took the phone. So even the roadside vendor, you just pay with WeChat. Quite easy, And I think it's very safe for people to hang out. You just hang out around. Even late at night, you really don't have any, sort of worry walking around. It's a really safe country, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that and basically all that you could, enjoying the different, enjoying the culture there, culture, food. You can just travel around. It's a huge country, though. Like you can travel around a lot. Of course, apart from your university life, and you do get to meet a lot of people from a lot of places. Like we had students coming in from all over. From Africa, even some Chinese Americans were there with us. Yeah, basically, I think it was quite a diverse community over there.
Oh, nice.
And in our university. And even in the city I studied in was Guangzhou. So Guangzhou in itself was a very diverse place. There were a lot of foreigners as well. You wouldn't imagine China to have a lot of foreigners there, but in Guangzhou I think there are a lot of foreigners.
I think you're right. It's very multicultural. Did the university host a lot of events for you to meet each other? Okay.
Yeah, there were cultural events and food festivals and a lot of things that the university themselves organized. And even the students there, the international students there, we used to get together, have some sort of cultural events, food festivals, and even sporting events. We had a sort of like a sports meet every week, every year. It was, yeah.
What sport did you play?
I played cricket and badminton, and if you are into badminton, China is a good place.
Oh, really? Yeah,
even the small kids are really good at it. You get beaten by small kids.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Did you find any particular challenges?
Yeah, like I said, initially I think it was getting used to. Initially you're there and not a lot of people speak English. Initially that would be the initial sort of early phase once you are there in China. And then the food is also very different, but this of course depends on where you're coming from. For us, the food is obviously very different. So it takes a bit of, getting used to. Yeah, so I think once you have those two sorted, things get very easy, Those will be the major issues for someone who's going there, someone who's very new. And then once you have the language, I think, and you're used to food, and you have a sort of general understanding of how things are done over there, and I think you thought it like it will take you a couple of months to get used to it, and probably another say 5 to 6 months, depending on your skill to learn the language to like a satisfactory level. 4 months, I think I was okay then, but like yeah. But however, so by the end of first year, you'll be pretty good.
Yeah, that's very impressive language learning skills, I think.
Yeah.
Nice. How did you find the medical studies itself?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the first year they focus a lot on timing, but I think that's very important. Even I mean, you do feel a bit of frustration, like sometimes like when you're there to learn medicine and learn Chinese, but then it gets really interesting, like you get to do a lot of hands-on skills, and they do have a lot of state-of-the-art labs where you can practice your skills and. Yeah, I mean, the learning experience in itself was also pretty good.
Is there any particular class that you remember the most?
Yeah, I think it was anatomy lab, where you get to where you get to have your hands on sort of like to develop your hands on skill and to really see, like the human body. Like, I mean, that's one of the memorable things, I guess. Yeah.
Did you get any chances to do work experience internships while you were in China?
Yeah, I did have 1 year of internship where we practiced within Guangzhou. I mean, we do have a few universities that, I mean, few hospitals, not a few, actually, quite a lot of hospitals that are affiliated with our university. So we did 6 months in Guangzhou itself and another 6 months outside Guangzhou. I was in Zhongshan. That's around, I guess, an hour or two away from Guangzhou. So you get to do 6 months of internship. A total of 1 year, internship of 1 year.
Okay, cool. Did you get to choose where you want to go?
Yeah, we did have a choice. I mean, there were around 4 to 5 places to choose from. I mean, where you could go. Yeah, we did have a choice. I mean, I'm sure now the choices are even much more.
Yeah, fair enough. How long was your course altogether?
6 years. That's 5 years plus 1 year of internship.
And did you specialize in any area?
No, I mean, generally you get a general degree, after the completion of 6 years. And then further specialization, you do it once you are back in your country. I mean, I'm sure there are ways to, do further studies in China as well. But for me, the option was to come back to Sri Lanka.
After graduating, you went back to Sri Lanka.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we have this exam, sort of licensing exam. So we should go through. And then once you are through that, you are basically guaranteed a job.
Okay, great. And you chose a specialization after then?
So what we have, the system we have in place here is there's a sort of another 1 year of internship. But this internship, you are paid for in Sri Lanka. Once you have provisional registration to practice in Sri Lanka for 1 year after completion of the licensing exam. So after that, you are free to work as a fully registered medical practitioner in Sri Lanka. So then you have the option of choosing a further specialties if you want to go with surgical or medical. I'm still actually in the process of working things out.
Yeah, hard choice. Do you enjoy what you do?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I think back in your home country, speaking your mother language, it's great to be working here.
Is there a favorite part about the job? Or
yeah, like right now, some areas of Sri Lanka, people are like it's quite. I mean, where I'm working now is a periphery, where like it's not a big city. So to help the people around here, who do not have any access to like the bigger hospitals, or like just helping them out in whatever where you can, I think. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you mentioned you work in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah. So while I was while I was studying for the exam here, I did work at a private company here who did some consultations for major pharmaceutical brands. So I did work there with them for like a few months because I was actually it's sort of like a part-time thing where I was studying for the licensing exam and then working for them.
Okay, interesting. And was that very different from what you do now? as well for
Yeah, it was more of, like theoretical, studying around actions of drugs and stuff. Like in practice, you don't really like you do need it, but in practice, you don't really need that knowledge. So it's a bit different.
Are there any tips that you would give to students who are planning on studying in China?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's about choosing which university you want to go to. Depends on like your choice. Like sometimes people prefer to be in a big city. I think sort of list down the big cities and sort of choices you have. And I mean, a lot of information is available. I think online right now. You can read a lot. You can go on YouTube and get a sort of an idea of how the city is and stuff. And my first advice would be to learn the language. I mean, it makes your life 1,000 times easier. Like you don't have to master it. And I, I was not. I was not brilliant at all, right? But I could, handle the language. So once you do have, I mean, once you know the language, a lot of things become easy. Even going out for some food, it becomes much easier when you know the language, because in China, a lot of people, they don't speak a lot of English, and even menus and stuff, it's most repeated in Chinese. The use of English is very, very less over. So if you know the language, I think I think the main factor which decides like if you're gonna have a good time or a bad time there is the language, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sort of go out, talk to the people around, like in the gym or whatever. Like then I think rather than learning from the book, you learn a lot that way. You can try to talk to the taxi driver. You can try to talk to the market vendor and your friends. You know that way. I mean, it really helps. I think that could be the number one thing they advise. And then, of course, towards the end of your study period, when you're close to your internship, then you should try to work out which way you're heading. There, like once you graduate, there are a lot of options you can choose. You can either return to your home country and work there, or you can, go back to, I mean, more sort of, the other countries like the US, Australia, UK, and whatnot. So if towards the end of your study period, you kind of have to focus on, but you get a general idea on which way you're heading and start making plans towards that.
So did you always plan to return back to Sri Lanka?
My plan, so initially there were sort of quite a lot, I mean, a lot of different plans because you're sort of new to it, So, but then you talk around, I mean, you ask from people who are working here and people who are working from in other countries, you ask around and you sort of get a general idea. But there's always the option. I mean, even if you go back to your home country and you practice there and you find it, I mean, maybe you think maybe another country is good for, if you are considering, you could always go there. And it's just a matter of studying and passing a couple of exams, And I mean, I know the process is quite complicated than that, but like if you really have the will, I mean, you can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
do you think studying medicine gives you a better pathway into migrating to other countries?
Yeah. I'm especially now, I think a lot of it's sort of a job that what do you call it? That's in need, I guess. That's what we call it. Right? That's still yeah, in demand. Yeah. So medicine, I think. So I mean, if your aim is to migrate, I think it's a great pathway. But the only thing is, it takes quite a bit of time considering other occupations. Because you do have like 5 to 6 years of study and then another year also of several other exams. But in the end, I think it's much more rewarding, like to see, a patient something quite bad, then you do you do the necessary management and to see the person leave the hospital in like a healthy condition, quite satisfying.
Do you ever see yourself in China again?
What I mean, I would sure. I mean, I would like to visit again, but now with all the, and I've already made a lot of I mean, commitment here, so I won't be moving back. But yeah, I mean, I would for sure visit there one day. I mean, I would like to.
And do you keep in touch with the friends you made at university still?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they are also most of the people. My friends are also back. I mean, working all over the world. I mean, now, I mean, some are back in their home countries, and some are, some have migrated to other countries. But we do keep in touch. I mean, even to this day.
China admissions, we have a lot of information on different programs at universities in China, and students can apply through the platform as well, which makes it a bit easier. So I'm not sure if you found the application process challenging or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, so back in 2013, I think compared to now, the online resources, I mean, not as developed. You sort of had to go to, you have to go in person to hand over the documents, and it's a bit of, it's it's a lot of work involved. The initial application process and your visa, and to set all those up, you have to go in person and you have to submit those documents to several people. It's quite a process. I'm sure now. I mean, right now, I think it's much less complicated. I think the visa process and all of that will be well. And if you do have somebody people and like an agency or like what you guys are doing, I think it's pretty much easier for the students to go through that rather than go deal by themselves.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, in general, it's a great place to study, not only study, you get to meet a lot of people and, experience a lot of different things. So I think it's great. You get to experience a lot of things. So studying it, I recommend studying in China, it's a good place. And a good experience.
You also know what the most spoken language in the world, according to native speakers. So it's quite an
Yeah,
skill to have.
probably Chinese, yeah, even I mean, learning Chinese itself, I think it becomes a skill now, especially compared to those days. Like Chinese is also Mandarin Chinese becoming sort of a global language, I guess now. So you do have that benefit also,
That's true.
and a lot of Chinese companies are working overseas, and even here, if you do speak good Chinese, yeah, it opens up a whole new sort of job prospect, with the Chinese companies who are working away from China.
That's true. Have you ever come across any Chinese patients?
Not patients, no, not patients. I have not come across any Chinese patients, but I met some Chinese tourists and friends of friends, sort of like that.
Okay, thank you so much for talking with me today and sharing this with us.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
yeah.
It's been very useful to students. Okay, bye.